Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name is Xuan Kai and I'm a day trader from Singapore. You see me smiling, but sadly in this video I'm going to be sharing my biggest loss that I took on March on Tesla. So I'll be explaining the reasoning for trading Tesla, my full trading plan followed by a live day trade. If you stick all the way to the end, you'll find out exactly how much I lost in just a few minutes trading Tesla options. If you want to watch more day trading or investing videos, or you just want to watch me day trade live on YouTube on Fridays, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. So if you've been watching my past two videos that I've made, you'll know that in the past two trades I've made around 500 USD, and that is very good profit for me. So after those two trades that I took, I kept telling myself that I had to be centered and I also cannot be too attached to my profits, because a moment of carelessness or arrogance can easily wipe out your profits. Well, that is exactly what happened today. I was careless with my position sizing, and the second thing is that this is a very important week for the futures and the indexes, which I will elaborate later further down the video. It never gets easier to talk about big losses, because as I trade with more and more money, my losses tend to get bigger and bigger. I just get better at taking the hits and the punches. So hopefully this video can help you guys save some money and also beware of the trap that I fell into this week. So now let's get into the video. So as usual, starting out the day, we want to see things from a top-down approach, meaning seeing the big picture, which is what the overall markets are doing, because many stocks are generally largely affected by the movements of the overall markets. If you've been watching my videos, I'm sure you're tired of hearing this already, but we need to do a top-down approach so that we see what the market is doing, and then we know how to better anticipate what the stock might be doing in the near future. So as you can see from the charts here, we have the Nasdaq on the left as usual and the SPY on the right side. So what is the Nasdaq doing? You can see that throughout the day it moved up, moved down, moved up again, come down again, and then now it's kind of moving sideways throughout the day. For the same thing for SPY, you can see that it kind of moved sideways as well, no real direction. You can't really see whether it's going up or going down. The market is just pretty choppy for the day. So after analyzing the charts, we're going to read out on any potential news that might affect the market. So there wasn't much news, but at least we know that the treasury bond yields were decreasing today. So since the markets are inversely proportional to the bond yields, I would be expecting the markets to be potentially moving higher today. So it's a little bit strange that the markets are everywhere today. There are two important events that are happening this week that I did not really take into account. So one is that there's going to be an FOMC meeting on Tuesday, followed by an announcement on Wednesday. So this meeting will probably be used to answer questions regarding the bond yields, so people will probably be staying away from the market until there's a clear consensus on what the Feds will be doing about the rising bond yields. So the second thing is that to be aware of is that this is the week of quad reaching. So quad reaching is the date where all the futures and indexes expire, and they happen on every third Friday of every 3 months. So this video is also a sort of reminder to myself to be aware of this and be more careful during those weeks. So usually when this comes along, a lot of people are closing their positions or rolling over their positions to the following months. So the markets can get a little bit messy and crazy during this week. I also realized that the option premiums didn't move well this week. When it goes in my direction, I earn a little bit, but when it goes against me, the option premiums really drop drastically. So the risk to reward becomes a little bit harder. So I would preferably want to trade shares instead of options during this week, because it doesn't make sense to risk so much just to earn a little bit. So that's what really screwed me very hard on this trade today. So then let's zoom into Tesla. What is Tesla doing on the charts? So on the 1 minute time frame, you can see that Tesla is also very messy. It's just very choppy, moving up, coming down and moving up again. On the 5 minute chart, just a bigger picture of what's happening. You can also see that generally it's also very choppy on the market, on Tesla. So we move on to read on news about Tesla, and I read that Tesla had hundreds of workers tested positive for the pandemic. However, the strange thing is that the price action on the chart doesn't seem to reflect that. And Tesla is also following the market more in terms of movement. It's quite messy today, and the direction is quite unclear. So I feel that the public isn't really reacting to these negative catalysts as much. So this catalyst may not be that important. Whenever there's a clear catalyst, clear negative catalyst, like less than anticipated earnings or cannot meet delivery numbers, Tesla usually shows a clear downwards direction with sometimes maybe a gap down. So you can see that it is very clear that the sentiment of the market or Tesla itself is negative and it's moving lower, which is not clear today. So this shows that the importance of not just reading up on the current news for Tesla on the day itself, but it also shows that it is not just the news that is important, but rather the reaction to the news that is important. So what traders capitalize on are the public's reaction to the news, as well as their reaction which really moves the stock in a certain direction. Before we do the live trade, I'll be so grateful if you guys can give me just a like on this video. It will mean the world to me, and this is a picture of my girlfriend's cat to incentivize you guys to like the video. Here you go. After this, let's get to the live video. So now let's get into the live trade. So this is where I entered. My entry is the 711. I entered with 3 contracts. So where I screwed up here, it was that for today, because I was changing up the way I choose the option premiums, I was choosing a cheaper option premium. So I thought that I would trade with the same amount of money that I usually trade with a more expensive option premium. So I actually went with 3 contracts instead of 2 contracts. So my entry is 711. My stop loss is around the 705 area. And now I'm slowly starting to see, waiting to add to my position also if it goes in my favor. So see, I put a line at the 713.2 area. If it gets above the area, I'll likely add to my position. So one thing I already realized is that I'm a little bit slow in crafting up the trading plan for this trade, because I don't have my take profit lines yet. Still waiting a little bit. Yep, so after I entered, it kind of pulled back on me. So this is where you kind of panic a little bit. You're thinking, what's going to happen? And these are the times where, as a trader, you need to also remind yourself that you have accepted the risk. So you need to know that when it hits your stop loss, you will cut the losses and you're fine with the loss, because if you don't take the risk, there will be no reward. Yep, so now I'm setting my take profit, I believe. A little bit slow on this trade, I must say. A lot of hesitation going on. Yep, so now I finally have my take profit over here. So it should be around the 720.28 region. And I'm still waiting for what Tesla is gonna do. So far I hit my entry area, and then it kind of pulled back a little bit. And this candle is where it really started to scare me a little bit, because when I look at the market as well, Nasdaq is also pushing down quite aggressively. So I don't really like that. Yeah, but I mean, what can I do about it? I've already entered the trade. I'm setting another take profit zone as well, take profit area. Hopefully I can hit that target. Yep, just adjusting my charts a little bit. Just want to make sure that I can see a good picture of what's happening. As you can see, I'm actually quite down on my contracts already, and as you take more contracts, it seems like the losses actually compound themselves quite quickly. You know, like a $50 loss on 1 contract, that means on 3 contracts I already lost $150. Yeah, so for some reason this stop loss was really a lot wider than usual as well. My entry was 711, my stop loss was around the 705 area, so that's a $6 move on Tesla. A $6 move on Tesla is actually quite big, and I wasn't really aware of this at that time, because I was just giving my trade like some space to breathe. And I would still put my stop loss at this area. It's just that the quad reaching on this week really screwed up the option premiums, and the pullbacks were really a lot harder than usual. And so you can see the market is actually pushing down quite a lot. Tesla is following as well, which I don't really like. I kind of want it to reverse, but now we're just playing a bit of the hope game, hoping that maybe this is just a very strong pullback and hopefully it can burst up again. Waiting to see, hopefully it doesn't hit my, boom, it hit my stop loss. And this is where I exited all 3 contracts. So not too bad actually, I exited them at the right time. I followed my plan, so that's all that matters. Yeah. So after this, after the trade, we definitely have to move on to our trading recap, which is the journaling. So if we move on to the journaling, I've actually done a PowerPoint presentation over here. Yeah, so I believe this is the key to every successful trader's journey. Yeah, and journaling should be done for every successful trader. So then we move on to the first thing, which is the executions. I think the entries and the exits were phenomenal, not too bad actually. My entry was very prompt, my exit was very good as well. There was no problems with it. I didn't hesitate too much when I entered, I didn't hesitate too much when I exited as well. Management of the trade, which is what I do during the trade, there was actually nothing much to be done, because after I entered, you could see that the candles actually moved against me and the trade just moved against me. There was nothing to there was no stop losses to move up along the way, because the trade basically just didn't go my way at all. Yeah, I think I gave the stop loss, my stop loss was wide enough. I usually use the prior low, which is where I put my stop loss this time, and I gave my trade space to breathe, and I didn't have any regrets on where I put my stop loss actually. Yeah, so I always like to rate myself during after the trade as well. Emotionally, I think I rated myself a 7 out of 10. I think being an Asian, we never get higher than 8, 9 or 10 for ourselves. We don't really rate that high. So 7 is as high as you can get already. So I was actually able to accept the risk by reminding myself that I had already lost the trade. So I don't focus on the P&L during the trade, which is a very good thing. I was down quite a bit on the trade, but I wasn't focused on that. I was also able to control my emotions during the trade. So that's why I was able to execute properly entries and exits wise. Technical wise, I think I also rate myself 7 out of 10. I was able to see that the Nasdaq was trending up. SPY also reversed its direction already, so it would have been possible for SPY to push up as well. So I was also very vigilant, ready to add to my position whenever things went in my favor. So basically I was sort of trading with the direction of the market and the direction of Tesla. Both were trending up and it pulled back, so that was my the next time it pushed up again, that was my entry. So I was actually doing things quite well. The market internals as well was also lined up. Things were actually looking good, looking to move higher, but it just didn't. Yeah, so things I did well, definitely the prompt entries, the good exits as well, able to manage my emotions during the trade, which resulted in the phenomenal executions. Yeah, so things to definitely improve on was the choosing of the premium prices. So before this, the way I chose premium prices for Tesla was that I'll stick to a $6 premium price on Monday, and then with every day that passes, I'll decrease it. So $6 for Mondays, $5 for Tuesdays, and then so on, all the way, 4, 3, 2, $2 on Friday, all the way down like this, so that I can better control my risk and I won't have too big a loss if I choose too big a premium. Yeah, so I think I have to slowly move away from that and choose the best premiums for the day, because that's because they usually have better volume and open interest. So when the option premiums have better volume and option and open interest, they usually move better. So there are not so much gap ups, gap downs. So that means that when they move more smoothly, it means that I earn more when I win and I potentially lose less when I lose, because the option premiums are not so erratic and they move better. Yeah. So second thing is the position sizing. That was the thing. I made the mistake of increasing my contracts. Usually I trade with 2 contracts, but in this trade I took 3 contracts. Just said that I took it on the week of quad reaching, and the premiums really moved against me. Yeah, so the thing is that for the position sizing, what I was thinking was that usually, let's say if I trade on Monday, I trade with position size of 2 contracts and $6 premium. So that means $1,200. So now I thought that if I decrease the premium price to perhaps a $400, I could trade 3 contracts instead. That will amount to $1,200 as well, which is the same sort of position sizing, but it doesn't work that way in the premiums wise, because every contract can still move a very big amount and then the total loss could still be a lot more. So I definitely have to stick with 2 contracts no matter the premium price, just for Tesla itself. Yeah, I'm not allowed to increase until I am comfortable with 2 contracts. I'm comfortable with the losses, most importantly. The wins definitely will be good, but the losses are the ones that I need to be comfortable with. Yeah, and definitely my final thoughts is, it is a big loss, big ass loss, but I'm glad to learn this lesson. I'm glad to definitely learn this lesson on a Monday instead of sizing up on, let's say, on a Friday, because as the option premiums move along the week, it gets more and more volatile, and the losses can really increase throughout the week, which is why, as you see, throughout the week I usually decrease the option premiums don't trade too big an option premium towards the end of the week. Yeah, I took the trade, I accepted the risk, and if it was a win, it would have been an ultra big win as well, maybe a few $100 win as well. And also, I think it was an incredible opportunity to improve. This is just my way of rewiring my brain and telling myself that I'm actually doing well. This is just a small setback, and this is an incredible setback that can help me. I should see it more as an obstacle that can help me to improve rather than an obstacle that will stop me and sort of hinder my trading journey. It is a place that I can see to improve myself. Yeah, so definitely the profits are not permanent. I need to be careful of my position sizing and my emotional control. And last but not least, definitely be careful of quad reaching. Size down on the weeks where there's quad reaching, and definitely not increase my size. And also probably I should actually look to take higher probability trades during this time of quad reaching. Yeah, that isn't really, you shouldn't really risk that much on a week that doesn't have that much good opportunities that's happening. That concludes my Tesla trade. If you stayed with me all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.